Here's why your competition is working while you're sleeping and how you can be more like them. The reality is, if somebody is working harder than you, it's because they've agreed with themselves that they're going to take, less breaks or just like have a lower standard of kind of living, lower standard of enjoyment temporarily for what they want. They've realized that their goal and whatever big goal that they have, that to achieve it and to achieve it the fastest and to be the first person to kind of achieve that goal or to beat other people who are achieving it, they kind of have to, sacrifice a lot of their own personal life for that. And so really when your competition is working and you're kind of either sleeping or just relaxing or just wasting a bunch of time, it's because your competition is willing to just sacrifice more and more and more than you are. And I'm not saying that means like, you have to sacrifice more either, but I'm just laying out the reality of the fact that it's like, if you don't sacrifice more, then your competition will always outwork you no matter what you do. And you start to see this in a lot of situations, like people who have seen the cost of not being successful and have seen the pain that comes with it are willing to sacrifice a lot more because they've seen that. But other people who haven't necessarily seen that pain, who haven't necessarily seen the other side of why is it so important to be successful, all of those things, right? Haven't seen or felt the powerlessness that it comes with not having kind of the money to care for loved ones or care for other people, right? Those people don't actually, aren't willing to sacrifice so much for themselves. And that's why they often don't go to the such lengths that you see a lot of these people. Like I would say more often than not, it's actually more common to see people come from the bottom to the top than it is to come from like the middle to the top. Because when you come from the bottom, you have just such immense drive. You have immense reason to become successful, right? But if you come from the middle, your motivation is softer. You still have motivation, but it's definitely softer, right? And you don't have to go through so many harsh, really like identity defining periods of your life because it's just more likely that you're more cushy, right? And this is also why like a lot of spoiled rich kids won't work very hard most of the time because they just simply don't have that reason of why they need to work so hard. And that's why people from the bottom know that if they don't work hard, they're not guaranteed anything. And so you just have this dynamic that goes on. And that's why it's like, you need to realize that if you really want to reach the top, you need to start like really pushing yourself to a new level because your competition is going to like push themselves as well. And if you really want to stay competitive and beat them and, go after your dreams, it's not just you and your dreams. There are other people chasing the same dream as you. So use that as kind of a motivation and a driver to wake up each day and just remind yourself that, it's not just about you. It's also about everybody else working to try to get the same thing. And that's where it really comes down to who has more heart, who's willing to go farther, who's willing to sacrifice more. And that's the person that will actually be successful.